Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
Oh yeah, this is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Karate Kid Katrina.
I was just that.
You were?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's who you are
You ready?
today.
Woo! Here I am.
We've got
You're Karate Kid 2, Katrina.
Yeah, there we go.
We got Joel the janitor.
Wow.
Okay.
Hey guys, what's up?
What is that?
I'm a janitor today.
What? So today we are going to talk about a movie a little late. Well, a lot
A bit late, yeah.
This one came out a little
couple
while
months.
back. A couple months ago. But we got to talk about it because it's worth talking about. So we're going to talk about bodies. From
Wow.
Bodies
20
times
That's a
8.
little intense.
It's a lot of there's a lot of bodies.
There are a lot of bodies.
From this year, 2022. All
Yep.
right, Joel, let us know who's in it.
All right, so this one has Pete Davidson. I usually say stars Pete the people, but he's in this one. He's not in it a whole lot, but he's in it. He was in SNL, 160 episodes of SNL, The King of Staten Island, and most recently, I don't know. He's going to be in a new Transformers movie next year.
I could see
another one.
Yeah.
Rise of the Beasts coming 2023.
Okay, yeah, he fits.
Transformers like
in that.
8
He
or
fits
9.
that?
Yeah, he definitely fits that because they like to throw a lot of comedy in their Transformers movies. And his little one-liners and stuff, I think, would fit like perfect.
Yeah.
For a movie.
Yeah.
Like that.
He's just such an interesting-looking human being.
He is. Yeah.
Interesting looking.
Yeah. It is interesting.
Yeah.
I see these memes and it's like Beetlejuice. Like he looks like Beetlejuice before he died or something.
Before he died, yeah.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah, I've seen
that. That's funny. Yeah.
Also, Amandla. There's an L in there. Stenberg.
Interesting.
That's a perfect name for this kind of movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
That
much.
is perfect.
She is Sophie, and she was in Amandla. All right, people getting creative with their names. That's
she's Sophie. Okay.
Yeah, she was in the Hunger Games.
Oh.
Dear Evan Hansen, which was a Broadway musical that they turned into a movie, and The Hate You Give.
Oh.
Yes, I knew that.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't know that one? Okay.
Yeah, I knew she was in The Hate You Give. The Hate You Give.
Nice. And then we got Maria Bakalova. She's B. And she was in Borat's subsequent movie film, which was Borat 2.
Okay.
I guess that was the name that's given on IMDb. Borat's subsequent movie film.
Okay.
Yeah. The Bubble, which is that Netflix movie that's set like during the pandemic in like a hotel or whatever with like a bunch of comedic actors.
Huh.
And then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 she's going to be in.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is wow. So this part didn't take me long at all. The written and directed by written by Kristen Rupinian. She did a short story called Cat Person.
Okay.
And that was it. And then we've got Sarah DeLapp. She did the screenplay and she's done nothing else besides this movie. So,
oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, and this was directed by Helena Reijin, Reijn, Reijin, and she did Instinct and For the Birds, which was a short, and nothing else. So, Another one of those movies that the writers and directors did literally nothing before getting a big like movie to do. So kind of gives us all hope that anybody can really write and direct a movie.
Yeah.
For like the theaters. So
and something I noticed when you name these people, the writers and director are all women.
Yeah.
You don't usually see that in horror. I feel like.
Yeah.
Maybe a woman would be part of the writing team.
Yeah,
but not
usually
both writing and directing.
Yeah.
It's all different people. So
yeah,
that's interesting. That's cool. All right,
giving the women a voice.
Yeah.
With
your Gen Z horror. Sorry.
when a group of rich 20-somethings plan a hurricane party at a remote family mansion, a party game turns deadly in this fresh and funny look at backstabbing, fake friends, and one party gone very, very wrong. All right.
I always loved my hurricane parties that I would throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's supposed to be like how, like hurricanes are like actually really devastating to a lot of people. But these people, they're rich. They got this giant house.
Exactly.
They're cool. They're making it like a fun thing.
Yeah, they're so out of touch with the, middle class world.
Yeah.
And want to make sure that they aren't middle class,
Yeah.
But knowing someone who grew up in like hurricane world, like in a state that hurricanes are common, the way that they look at hurricanes is so different than how we look at it. Like we look at it as like, oh my gosh, it's like a hurricane, and like unless it's a huge like Katrina hurricane, they're like, it's another hurricane, guys. Like chill out.
Yeah.
I wonder where. I don't know that it ever says like where this takes place.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because
it's I was thinking. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was thinking that it most likely takes place in L.A. They don't have hurricanes very often in California.
Yeah.
Which it just seems like LA is one of those, or one of those cities that would have,
people like
these
this.
like rich little yeah.
I
But,
was thinking
hurricanes
more,
are not really common there.
Yeah, I was thinking more like Florida.
Yeah.
It
Because
could be Florida.
There are hurricanes in Florida, and there are rich, like bougie, I guess, I don't know. Like, areas in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense. It would be in Florida.
Yeah. I was just wondering if it, if they ever said, because maybe it's a place where hurricanes aren't very common, so that's why it's like a big deal.
No, I think it was somewhere where hurricanes are common, because it was like, this is what you do when there's a storm. And no one was worried about the storm, where, I mean, look at it. In California, if it's too windy, people are like, oh my gosh, close the schools, stay inside. Your power might go out for 10 minutes. Make sure you have canned food on hand.
Get your bottled water.
So I think it definitely had to be, I mean, and maybe part of it was like, it didn't matter where it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
These people exist everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere.
It was filmed in New York, so but I mean that's just where it was filmed. That doesn't mean that it takes place there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So.
Okay. What did you guys think though of the movie?
Okay.
You can go first, Katrina.
Okay. I really okay, so I love this movie. I think when I first walked out, I was like, man, I don't know. But then as we started talking about the movie, I thought, oh, actually, that was really genius. And oh, yeah. And like the character who feels like would be the most obnoxious character, she's like my total favorite character because she's everything. Well, her and Pete Davidson, they were like everything that, you know, the movie was trying to show.
Yeah.
Like, are we going straight into just whatever? We'll say whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, because the movie is trying to, like it's showing how ridiculous certain things have become, you know, like certain terms, like Pete Davidson talks about how overused the term gaslighting is, and while gaslighting his girlfriend, you know, and saying how he's not gaslighting her, you know, and how overused certain terms are and how sensitive people are to certain things. And like Alice is like, mental health is a really big issue right now. Like like the way that she says everything is, I just love it. I loved it. And I love the song. I will sing that song.
Do you know the song, Joel? That's in it? That she's talking about?
I think so. I watched this movie once and it was like a couple of weeks ago or so. So I don't remember like everything that happens in it, but I think I remember there was a song.
2020 song.
Bored in the house and I'm in the house, bored in the in house, bored and I'm bored in the in house, bored in the house, bored in the house, bored in the house, bored in the house, bored I'm bored in the in house, bored and I'm bored in the in house, bored.
If you have not seen the music video to this song, it is a must watch.
Oh man,
this is what counts as music these days.
Oh, that is music for sure.
Oh man.
I mean, it's 2020 in a song.
Yeah. That is very true. Oh man.
So that's the classic 2020 song. Our kids were showing us that back in early 2020.
And TikToking it and everything. And so I loved how they had them. Everyone was TikToking on that song, and so.
Oh man.
All right. So Joel, what are your thoughts on this one?
So this was a interesting movie, to say the least. I have the same kind of feeling for this movie as I did the first time I watched like Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, whereas it doesn't quite know who its audience is. Because I mean, you've got a movie full of like, you know, early 20-year-old like Gen Z people. So you're gonna get the Gen Zers to go to this movie, but at the same time, you're making fun of them the entire time, which is gonna attract other people to see it. But other generations are not going to like just the characters in general for the most part because they're annoying Gen Z like kids. So it's isolating your Gen Z audience, but also kind of isolating your other older audience by having a movie full of Gen Zers. So I don't know. It's a weird movie. There were definitely parts that were funny in this movie, and I do like the little twist at the end that we got. Because I mean, this is basically a murder mystery, which it's a Gen Z murder mystery, which is fun. I love murder mysteries, and And so, yeah, it's a weird one for me. I'd watch it again just to get a better feel of how I feel about it, better understanding how I feel about it. But yeah, right now I'm in the weird kind of stage right now where I'm not entirely sure what I feel about this movie right now.
Okay. So one thing that you said was it's a movie for Gen Zers, but then at the same time it's making fun of them. So it's like a movie for the other generations that like don't get the Gen Zers.
Yeah.
And so that's where I feel like such a like great movie, because it's like as as parents of Gen Zers, we took our kids to see it. Yeah. They loved it for like their own reasons of like actually relating to the characters and stuff. And we loved it for how it poked fun at the different things, because we got it on a different level than they got it. Right. And so it was a perfect movie for us to watch together, and we watched it again. And
fun for the whole family.
Yeah. We watched it again, and our daughter was like, oh, cool, I want to see it again. Like, for totally different reasons.
Yeah, I'm like, laughing at the dialogue and all the, terms that are being used. And she's not like, she's like, stop doing that. How is that funny?
Like, she's like joining in with us.
Yeah. She's getting all heated when they're insulting each other and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just laughing like, oh my gosh, it's basically like watching a Facebook argument, on screen.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's, the like love triangles going on, and a little bit of the drama, of course, with the characters,
which is what the Gen Zers love.
Yeah. I really liked it. When the twist happened the first time I watched it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Like, it was just funny. But then as I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, that's kind of lame though, because it's like, I don't know, it was like all for nothing.
No, but that's the whole thing of it.
Yeah. That is the point. Yeah.
They were their own worst enemies. Yeah. Like
they all freaked out, started killing each other over nothing.
Yeah, they created this whole thing.
Right.
And all because of their just like their own thoughts and paranoia and and drugs.
Yeah.
And they didn't have reception.
Yes, and that was the thing. Is like, it was like they were
make
left
those Gen Zers crazy.
Yeah, that was the very last line of the movie. Was they find out that Pete Davidson killed himself on accident.
Yeah,
and then they're fighting over the phone and stuff. And then this dude who they thought might have been the killer shows up. He wasn't in the movie at all. And then he's like, "What happened?" And then one of the girls pulls out her phone. She's like, I have reception.
Yeah, like, because they're in total shock, and then all of a sudden they hear their phone just going off,
vibrating.
And,
It was a cool way to end the movie. Like I said, I was kind of like, oh, it was all for nothing. Like, the horror fan in me was like, oh, that sucks. But it totally made sense for the movie. To end that way, for that twist to happen. And I wrote down some of the lines just because I wanted to.
Did you write down like Pete Davidson's whole speech?
I didn't write his whole speech. But
I feel like the whole speech was worthy of writing down.
I really liked his speech.
Yeah.
His girlfriend is. I don't know. He finds out that his girlfriend's been talking about their sex life. And so he's kind of upset. And then she's getting upset that he's upset. And she's like, well, stop gaslighting me. And it's like all defensive. Like, you don't even know what that means. Like, everybody uses that term. And it just means nothing now. And what are you going to say next? That I'm a white supremacist? And, And, it was a great speech. Because I agree with him, but then at the same time, he's overreacting.
Yeah.
And he's getting all pissed about this, game that they're playing. Like, people are accusing him of being the killer in this, like, just silly game, and he's like smashing stuff, and, like, punching the wall. It's like, dude.
It totally was like how our son would react to losing a game. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, he's a teenager now, and he still would be like, oh my gosh, I hate this game. Like,
he just like
that was
like punches the wall or something, and he walks off.
He
He's
slams
like,
a glass thing. Yeah. I hate this game.
So there's that scene that his speech with his dialogue there. They said literally a lot.
All the time.
Yeah.
I'm literally trying to do. I'm literally, that's a very common term used these days.
Yes.
One of the girls was calling the other one toxic.
Yeah.
You're so toxic.
Yeah.
Mental health is a real issue. You know, she had to make sure
Which it is.
It is.
It
is. Don't call her a psychopath. It's very ableist.
Yeah, the ableist. It's so ableist.
But they're dead serious about
these
things.
Well, and it's all Alice. I just Alice love her to death.
And Alice again. I'm an ally.
I can totally see how it might have. It seems like that right now, and I'm an ally.
And then 2 seconds later, she's chewing her out, saying that you act like you're rags to riches, but you're from middle upper class.
Yeah, and then I know. She's like, you're not even middle class.
Yeah.
And she's like, I am middle class. So offended because she has to stick with her rags to riches.
Yeah. And she's like, no, your parents are professors at a university.
And she's like, it's public.
Oh, so good. Because it's, today, especially online and stuff, it's all about how many victim points can you get?
Yeah.
How many points can you add up to either be a victim or to show that you're woke, show that you're so in the know, you are so compassionate, you're such a better person than everybody else. So you can stack up points that way too online. And that's everything that they were trying to do. Especially Alice and Jordan.
Jordan,
yeah. Something else, I think, I can't remember who says this, if it's Jordan or Sophia. She says, feelings are facts.
Feelings are facts, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, man.
That was Sophie.
It was, they were all...
Yeah. Or Sophia.
Sophia. Sophia. The lines were, really funny, but I was, rolling my eyes the entire time. They're supposed to be doing that, but it's like, oh, I can't with these people.
Yeah, I can't even. But the other thing that was so classic and great about Alice was every time someone else would make a point, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, you did do that."
Yeah,
it was
affirming.
It was so great because every time she would be defending them, and then someone else would make a point and. Oh yeah, you did do that. I just
You're right.
love.
Yeah.
Alice played every side. She was on everybody's side.
Yeah.
And against everybody all at the same time. She was so great. And then Pete Davidson kept saying how the actor, his girlfriend was an actress, and she's acting.
Someone said, you trigger me. I think it was Sophie who said that these people are triggering her
Yeah,
she
and
was an
they
addict.
were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's another. She had to continue to mention that she's
Yeah.
an addict, and so.
Well, but then they
Mhm.
kept saying how you dropped us,
Yeah.
like you dropped us. But then they had just seen her.
Yeah.
What 2 weeks ago?
yeah, they kept
And-
mentioning how like they had like these conversations or something, but then it made it seem like she hadn't talked to them in like years.
You
or something.
you dropped us,
Yeah.
you vanished, and
Yeah.
all this, and it shows like if you don't get back to someone like instantly these
Yeah.
days,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you leave them undelivered or leave
Yeah.
them on red,
On red.
oh my gosh, it's like
It's the end of the world.
yeah, and you abandoned me,
Yeah,
and so it's like this
Mhm.
whole idea of abandonment,
yeah,
and so
Yeah.
But in reality, it was like 2 weeks.
it was
or
like 2
something.
weeks ago,
Yeah, it
yeah.
wasn't. It wasn't like
Yeah.
that long.
And it was like she was having private conversations, but because
Yeah.
she left the group,
Right. The group
it was
chat,
like
yeah.
Mhm.
you haven't
Yeah.
talked to the group chat in
yeah.
so long. And-
I was like, when they kept mentioning the group chat, I was like, really? Like,
Oh, that's a
they're
big
upset about the
deal.
group chat.
That is
Alright.
a big deal if you don't stay up with the group chat.
So funny.
Oh, man.
And let's see here.
I forget, but didn't one of them get shot and go, "You shot me," and the other one's like, "You always make this about you."
yeah,
Well, and she was holding the gun as everyone watched her shoot her, and she keeps saying, I didn't shoot her, I didn't shoot her." Like,
it's like an Alec Baldwin kind of situation.
yeah.
Shot her in the leg. She's like, I've never been shot before.
Yeah, this really hurts. Why do you always have to make it about you?
Oh, and yeah, I like Alice too. I think she's my favorite, especially because she has a podcast.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't know how hard it is to make a podcast.
Yeah.
You have to have the guests. You have to have a Google Calendar.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Podcasts are so hard. She's all offended by that. And,
It takes a lot of work.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, Alice is the
And
best.
her podcast is about hanging out with her friends or something.
Yeah,
it was-
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Hanging out with her coolest friends or
like
something.
like great people, or I don't know,
Yeah.
something like that. So it was like, okay,
It's hard to get guests. These are your friends. I don't.
So yeah, a lot of comedy in there that
Mhm.
isn't like clear comedy. Like it's comedy to us,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like as the millennial generation.
Yeah. Yeah. And
but
so
probably
depending
not to Gen Z as much.
Yeah, depending
Yeah.
on the population that you're
Yeah.
getting to watch,
Yeah.
it's
And that's-
either a comedy or it's a horror movie.
Yeah,
And that's the thing, though. That's why I'm like, I don't know if I like this movie or if I don't, because they
you don't
are
know which one you are.
they're well. No, I'm just saying they're isolating the people that this movie is about by making fun of them. Like, yeah, it's funny for millennials and below, I guess, other generations of people find it funny and find the humor in it, but unless you, I don't know, it just seems like, because you're going to get your majority of audience from Gen Zers because this is a Gen Z horror movie.
Yeah.
So, but you're isolating those people because you're making fun of them.
Well,
it's
but
like,
the Gen Zers don't think that you're making fun of them. The Gen
Yeah.
Zers think that you're just super woke in this, like making this movie. They're like,
It's pretty realistic,
It's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
they. I mean, the only one making fun of them is Pete Davidson, and Pete
Mhm.
Davidson then dies like right at the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
So
and he's
Yeah.
seen as like a jerk.
as like a jerk,
Mhm.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
really, the Gen Zers feel pumped
Yeah.
watching this movie. I can tell you. They
Yeah.
didn't even realize, because when we were talking
man.
about it as like, oh, they were totally mocking it, and they're like, what? They didn't even see that. They
Yeah.
thought it was like legit, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh
Yeah.
man.
So
Yeah.
So don't worry about the Gen
It's-
Zers, Joel.
Yeah. It's
They
okay.
like the movie. They are happy with how it
In
turned
their
out.
own ways.
In their own way.
Until they listen to our podcast and like, they were making fun of us. So their favorite movie of the year becomes their most hated movie of the year.
Well,
So we need to put a disclosure in.
Yeah.
This podcast
Yeah.
is for
Yeah.
millennials.
It's not
and
for
up.
Gen Zers.
they might just be mad at us.
Yeah.
Like that's not funny.
They're-
Why are you guys making fun of us? Like,
Yeah.
Well, they'll probably think like, "Oh
Those are
my
real
gosh, you
topics
guys
you were talking
totally
about,
missed the
Justin.
point of the movie."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they'll
Oh,
think,
well,
"Oh,
yeah.
these poor people."
These poor boomers. They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Boomers is the new term.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
So this we didn't mention. This is an A24
Yeah.
film, and
What does that mean?
A24 is the elevated horror
Production
production
company.
company. So it was
elevated.
it was like Men, like that movie. If you remember that.
They have another one
from
coming out
earlier
next
this
year. That there was a
X
recently.
was A24.
Yeah, X
Oh,
was.
X is elevated.
Yeah.
Very elevated.
Pearl was A24.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if X was.
What else came out this year that was A24?
Wait, so is like Midsummer? Or
Yeah.
Midsummer.
Yeah.
I think that
Hereditary.
was also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's elevated,
Yeah.
man.
So
Very artistic.
it kind of like, I don't know. I feel like A24 definitely has meanings to their horror films.
Mm-hmm.
And-
Nope was A24. All right.
Really?
Nope.
Yeah, apparently so.
I don't remember seeing
This can't be
that.
right because it says Halloween Ends was.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I looked up
Wish-
popular
Halloween
A24.
Ends does not have any meaning to it.
I looked up popular. It says popular A24 movies, and Halloween Ends is on there. I'm like,
And it's not
about that.
popular either. that just
It's
list
a-
is wrong altogether.
It's a big movie, so it's
Yeah.
it's popular in that.
It's a popular fail.
But what I was getting at is I didn't expect them to make fun of the woke generation
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they kind of have that stuff Men. Some could argue is a very woke movie.
Yeah.
Man bashing and all that stuff. So, but then you have a movie like this, and it's like, okay, you can play kind of both sides of the coin. That's pretty cool, and you can do it in a a fun way. And so I was like, okay, I appreciate it.
So what if in all reality we are getting it all wrong and they
no,
weren't
this
making...
was marketed as a satire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a lot of the descriptions and reviews that I've seen, it's been called a satire.
Okay.
So I think it was intentional.
Yeah.
I wonder, it is, I'm sure that actors and actresses are aware of that too, but I wonder how they feel about it.
Oh, Alice loved it.
I think
so
Pete
did
talk to her all the
Davidson-
time.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson, everything he said in the movie, that was just totally Pete Davidson.
That's just how
that
he
was
feels.
him. He was just saying his own opinions
Yeah.
in the movie. They're like, just get up there and rant.
Yeah.
Like, we're not even going to give you
A script.
lines.
Yeah.
We're not going to give you your own words. You
Yeah.
just come up with it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mad lib. But Alice totally loved it because she was so
It was very
over dramatic about it, you know?
Mhm.
So you could tell. Sophie, I think possibly was actually felt the way she
Like
felt
she was
in
serious.
the yeah. She
Mhm.
didn't feel like she was actually making fun of it. She was just being herself too.
This is a serious horror movie
It was
for
a
some of these
serious
people.
role.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
nominated for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that I did find interesting that I didn't really take from it until later. The only I guess, quote unquote, normal character was
Greg?
B.
Oh,
Well, Greg, yes, but he didn't last very long. But B was
He
kind
killed
of
off the guys pretty quick in this movie.
yeah.
B was kind of more like level-headed. She was not getting into all the drama. She wasn't part of the group necessarily, so she didn't have a lot of stakes in it. But she was Sophie's girlfriend at the time, so she could have been reacting a lot more compared to the rest of the group.
Like killing Greg.
Well, she was protecting Sophie.
She was protecting Sophie.
He was kind of coming at her, so I was like, okay. But she's the only one that actually intentionally killed somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
but it was in self-defense, so her, she. Yeah, at that point,
in what she thought was
everyone thought that. Yeah.
But she was low income.
Yeah.
And foreign.
Exactly.
Yeah. So she was not from this rich generation.
This culture. Yeah.
And
that's what I was like, okay, I wonder if that was intentional. She was
I think
the
it
only,
was
non-American
it was absolutely
character.
intentional.
And she's the one that's level-headed.
Well, and
she hasn't been indoctrinated into this lifestyle.
Yeah, and I didn't even think about that it was necessarily the whole being non-American, but also just not being in this rich community. But I think a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a total American hating film.
You can definitely be in lower classes as long as you have a cell phone and have access to social media. You can be all about this life. You don't have to have money.
Yeah. So it was it's really so this film really is just hating on Americans.
On Generation Z Americans.
Yeah, not all Americans. We're not all like this.
Yeah.
Which is the
new America.
Yeah, which is an interesting take that you mentioned about B being foreign. Yeah. And she's basically she's basically us, the audience, from most of the audience. Yeah. You can put yourself in her position because she's foreign. She's not from America, but we're also foreign. Most people are foreign to that lifestyle. Yeah, we're not. That's something different from the majority of the world. Basically, it's just it's a pretty small percentage of these rich kids that are so it's one of those things where you can kind of put yourself in her position because where the way she's looking at it is pretty much the way that we would look at being in that kind of a position. So
well, and it was interesting because they're oh, so are you from, what was it, Moscow? Or
that was the first place that they could think of.
And she's like, no, why?
I thought that was funny. I'm like, wait, did they mention that she was from Moscow at some point? Or just someone thought you sound Russian, Moscow? That's all I got.
And then they were like, I like the something, I don't know.
Oh yeah, it was the movie.
The movie?
Dr. Shavako? How do you say it? I can't remember how you say it.
Dr.
Javakio or something.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my favorite film.
Okay.
It's just a really old movie.
It's just okay.
My favorite film is Casablanca.
So many different elements, and I feel like every scene was very intentional with the dialogue, and it meant something. And something else I liked was the music. When the scenes were getting kind of tense, well, there was that song, yes. But when
that was your favorite soundtrack, Katrina.
I
know. When the scenes were getting kind of tense, it was a synthy kind of I don't know. It sounded cool.
Yeah.
It played a few times during the movie, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of getting
It
me
went-
in the mood. It's good."
It went really good with the feel of the house.
Yeah, the like darkness, and then you
And
had
castle feel almost.
yeah, the
like,
castle feel. You had Alice with her like glow, like
Yes.
her
Oh,
glow
Alice with
sticks
her
and stuff.
sticks. Oh my gosh, she was the best. The like raver.
Yeah. Oh, but something I did not like, and this was her character,
Oh.
but why? And I mean, this is Gen Z, I guess. I don't know if this is a thing, but Jordan had a lot of armpit hair. For some reason, they showed that quite a bit in the movie, and her like eye makeup was really weird.
Oh
too.
yeah, I know. Jordan's eye makeup was really weird. I thought you were saying it was Alice's character.
Oh no! I liked Alice. I thought she was like perfect for this
She's
movie.
the best, yeah.
But Jordan, like her acting and the dialogue and stuff was good, but like why'd she? I mean, do people do that?
What, have
Like
armpit
not
hair?
shave their armpit hair
yeah.
like on purpose?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Because women don't have to be womanly.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
like girls
Yeah.
don't have to follow the norms
Yeah,
anymore. Like
yeah.
that's not.
That's kind of what I figured they were trying to do,
Yeah.
but I was like, man, okay.
Don't be such a boomer. That's so ableist.
Yeah. Well, she's able to shave it. She's choosing not to. So,
Maybe she's not.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, that was interesting.
I wonder if that was a character choice or like an actor choice. Like,
Yeah.
if she went into this role being like, I'm gonna do this. Or if it was like written that way.
She's just like, okay, I'll be in the movie, but I don't shave my arms. So you're gonna have to deal with that.
I didn't even notice.
No,
I didn't
noticed
really
right
either.
away. Right when
be
they're in
honest.
the
I know.
pool.
Danny
Yeah.
talked about it the entire film both times we watched it.
Right
It's
when
like,
they're in the
"But why
pool,
does she have hairy
they
armpits?"
show her, and I'm like, wait, is this a guy? And then it's like, oh, okay, it's not.
Yeah, and then he kept saying it to our daughter, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, let it go!"
So it's okay for guys, but not for girls. Is that what you're saying,
Yeah, it is one.
Danny?
Man, I know what I need to make sure to do.
All right.
Oh, man.
Anything else you guys want to add?
I think we covered
Yeah.
pretty much everything,
I think all
including
I
quotes
have,
from people. So
yeah, I think all I have to say at this point is, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
Oh man. Must have taken him a long time to write that song.
Oh my gosh. Well, you got to hear the rest of it. Like, really, Joel. Maybe we need to do like a reaction video of watching the music video.
Yeah, the lyrics are actually pretty creative.
It is
pretty clever.
An amazing song.
Yeah, the chorus is very annoying, but it's actually a pretty clever song. Okay, let's rate it.
All right.
What do you got, Katrina?
I will give this
100.
song. I'm
Song?
going to give the song 100. I will give the movie. I'm going to do 88
Okay.
for this one.
Wow.
Yeah, I like this
one
movie.
a lot more.
Oh, and that was the thing. I didn't even think about the fact that I liked it a lot more than the other one, but
Okay.
I just really like this movie.
Yeah. All right, what do you think, Joel?
I'm gonna give this an 80.
Okay.
It's good. I mean, I'd watch it again. It's not one I probably watch like every year all the time, but it's something I'll watch it again. Yeah, for sure.
All right,
especially with like other people to see if.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have to watch it with some
thing,
Gen
like,
Zers.
Oh yeah,
and see how it goes, so that you start feeling comfortable with how the Gen Zers feel about this movie.
Yeah,
because right now you're really uncomfortable.
I was just like, I'm it was just
You're worried.
Weird to isolate like a good portion of your audience. But if they genuinely consider this a horror movie, then that's sad on another level. But
yeah. Well, and they're they're just as worried about you.
Yeah.
I know.
Don't worry. They.
Oh man. Okay, I'm going go 87. On this one.
It's almost an A for you. All right.
Yeah. I really liked it. I think if you watch it with other people, it's a way more enjoyable experience because just like watching a comedy with another person is way more fun than watching it on your own. And you can like point things out and laugh about it, and I feel like there's a lot of things even.
Well, it depends on who you watch it with. So
right. And yeah, I think there's some stuff we didn't even catch or talk about yet.
I know. There's probably many more things we'll be able to catch every time we watch it.
Yeah.
Katrina wants to watch it every week at least. So.
Yeah, I'm ready to watch this movie regularly.
All right. Well, look for our next episode, Black Friday.
Oh, okay. Then I lied. It's part of my statement.
Anyways, we'll be talking about Black Friday holiday movie next, and then we'll get into December and talk about all of the end of the year stuff.
Yes.
End of the year top 10 best and top 5 or 10 worst. We'll do kind of a catch-all episode of movies we haven't had reviews for. And then we will talk about our most anticipated for 2023.
Yes.
So can we please still do the mean one?
The mean one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we'll be able to fit that in.
Okay.
It comes out like a week before Christmas. So if we want to get it out before Christmas, we'll have to do it like
on Christmas night. We'll do it Christmas night live.
Oh wow.
Live.
Well, we can't do it live. We don't have that technology.
Unless we just do YouTube.
In almost 2023, and we don't have the live technology.
We don't.
Man, we do, but we don't.
Yeah. Not for this setup. But
right.
I mean, there's YouTube Live. I mean, that's these are going up on YouTube anyway. So.
Okay. Well, sorry, Scare Talkers. You'll have to tune into my podcast. For lives.
Just Katrina.
I'll let you know when it's available, Scare Talkers.
But no, I think we can get to that one, get it out before Christmas, most likely. So,
okay.
All right. So yeah, look for those. And this has been our episode on Bodies from 2022. And this has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Okay, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house. Bored in the house.
Don't let this song bite.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Don't Let Pete Davidson bite.